Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm checking out the 1700 lumen Fenix PD35 version 3. Let's check it out. Alright, here's the new Fenix PD35 version 3, still in its box. On the back we have a bunch of lumen and runtime information, but that's enough of the box. Let's take this bad boy out and check it out. Alright, let's put all this off to the side. So right here we have the USB charger. It looks like it's a micro USB charger. Let's check out the new Fenix PD35 version 3 right here. And before we get into details about this flashlight, let's see what else comes in the box here. So we have a standard holster here held together by Velcro, pretty skinny. I'm not the biggest fan of these types of holsters, so let's move on. Inside this little white bag here, looks like we have the standard lanyard and two replacement O-rings. And then down here at the bottom of the bag, it looks like we have a replacement rubber button for the tail switch here. That's awesome. And then we have the standard user manual and warranty information. But let's put all this off to the side and let's check out the new PD35 version 3 here from Fenix. And I'll give you guys a nice close-up. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. Alright, so the new PD35 version 3 has a maximum output of 1700 lumens and a maximum throw distance of 357 meters. That's an improvement over the PD35 version 2's 1000 lumens and 250 meter throw. And pushing out those 1700 lumens is a single Luminus SFT40 LED with a lifespan of 50,000 hours. Inside there's a 2600 milliamp hour 18650, 3.6 volts, 9.36 watt hour lithium ion rechargeable battery. Yes, you can charge it directly on the battery with the included micro USB cable, or as you can see here, it can be externally charged with any 18650 slot charger. But it can also work with two CR123A batteries. The body's made of 6061-T6 Aluminum, and it has a toothed strike bezel. Also included is this titanium pocket clip that comes right on the flashlight. It features two switches, a metal side switch to cycle through its 5 modes plus strobe, and the tail switch where you can tap it for momentary on or full press it for constant on. And under that metal side switch is also an LED that gives you your battery status. It's impact resistant up to 1 meter and is IP68 dust and waterproof, meaning it's completely dust proof. And it's submersible underwater up to 6 feet. Alright, so now on the screen I'll pop up the graph that shows its lumens and runtime. You can see here Eco mode is 5 lumens and has a runtime of 230 hours. So if you're hoping for a 1 lumen moonlight mode, it's not here. Then you see low at 50 lumens and has a runtime of 26 hours and 25 minutes. Medium is 150 lumens and has a runtime of 8 hours and 30 minutes. High is 600 lumens. Runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes, and then we have our turbo at 1700 lumens, a runtime of 1 hour and 25 minutes with a distance of 357 meters. And then you can see the intensity is 31,900 candela. And as always, I'll be testing out that turbo runtime a little bit later on in this video. Alright, so what about the dimensions here? Its length is 5.28 inches and has a head diameter of exactly 1 inch and a center body diameter of 0.90 inches. So on the website, it says it weighs 2.95 ounces, and yeah, they're exactly right, but that's without the battery. So by my weight test, it weighs 2.95 ounces, 84 grams without the battery, and with the battery it comes in at 4.7 ounces, that's 132 grams. Alright, so let's talk about the PD35 version 3 here for a second so we can determine if this is the right flashlight for you. So Fenix is marketing this as an EDC / tactical flashlight. Yes, I guess it is small enough to be considered an EDC flashlight. And the tactical features here are, yes, it does have strobe, it does have the tail switch here that does feature a momentary on and off, and a striking bezel here with this toothed strike bezel here that is not very aggressive, but yeah, it's there. And yes, it's definitely an upgrade from the PD35 version 2 that was released way back in 2018. They managed to squeeze another 700 lumens out of this new version and another 107 meters of throw, so that's pretty impressive. And that's largely due to the new Luminus SFT40 LED right here. I'll give you a nice look right down the barrel at that LED. And also contributing is the de-convex lens right here with the small caliber reflector. If you guys can see that right here. And if you're familiar with any of the new Fenix flashlights, everything else here is going to look very, very familiar to you. We're going to have the anti-slip knurling here on the body. It has the anti-roll cutting edges right here, so if it's on the table, it stops it from rolling. And I already mentioned the split ring removable titanium clip here that comes attached right to the flashlight in the box. So let's check out the dual switches. Right here on the side, we have that metal side switch where you can cycle through your 5 modes plus strobe, and it also doubles as a battery life indicator. So if I activate the light by pressing in the tail switch here, you can see it's green, so right there it's fully charged. And one thing I like about this PD35 version 3 is you cannot activate the light through that side switch at all. A lot of times when you see dual switches, you can either activate it from the tail and the side switch, and this one, no matter what you do, does not activate the light or even strobe. The only way to activate this light is through the tail switch, and it does have a momentary on or off by half pressing it, and a constant on by fully pressing it in. You hear the click, and just click it off. So let's cycle through those modes here. So that's our 5 lumen eco mode. There's our 50 lumen low, 150 lumen medium, 600 lumen high, and then our 1700 lumen turbo mode. And if I hold down the switch, it activates strobe. Oh my God, that always kills me. And yes, it does feature a memory. So if I turn it on eco, turn it off, turn it back on, there's eco, and then there's our medium, off, back to medium. So if I turn the light back on, and you can see that beam profile right here on my desk, it has a pretty well-defined hotspot right there, right dead center. And check out that perfect outer spill here. So the beam profile here is very, very nice. And a lot of you guys have commented on some of my past videos of your experience with Fenix flashlights, and I've seen the same thing where when it's in the lower mode, such as eco or low, the beam, the light looks a little bit greenish. And this one's no different. So you can see here in eco, it does look a little bit green to me. But of course, as you go up, here's medium, it starts to get a little bit more of a white color. And when I say white, it sort of leans a little bit to the bluer side, a little bit of a cooler temperature, I'd say. Not exactly a daylight color, I think it's a little bit warmer than that. But the best way I can describe it is probably right around 4,000 to 4,500 Kelvin. That's just my best guess. So next, just like always, I'm gonna test out the turbo runtime here and just see how hot this head gets, because it always comes with a heat warning right there. So I'm gonna let this run for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna take its temperature at 1 minute, and I'm gonna take its temperature at 2 minutes, and then later on in the video when I'm doing the edit, I'll be able to scrub through the edit to see exactly when this starts to step down from turbo. Because here it says it gets 1 hour and 25 minute runtime, but that's most likely with the step down from turbo to high, which is 600 lumens. So let's try to do this at the same time. Hit it on turbo and start the watch here, and all right, go. All right, so let's turn this off here. After 1 minute, at the head was 103.8 degrees, and at the body was 92.3 degrees. After 2 minutes, it went up to 111.7 at the head, and at the body was 95.1 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll also put the Celsius readings on the screen right under the Fahrenheit readings so you guys know what I'm talking about that aren't from the US. But yeah, the head here is fairly hot. The body, don't need gloves at all. It's completely manageable. Also, I didn't see much of a step down when I was watching it live, but in the edit, I'll be able to scrub through it like I mentioned before. And if there was a step down, I'll put the start time when it started stepping down and the end of it right on the screen right here. All right, so now it's time to take this bad boy outside and record some beam shots for you. So let's go. So as you can see from that beam test, this is a very spotty flashlight. Even though it does have nice spill around that spot, I can basically see everything around me while I was looking at those trees, but it's very spotty. So when they say 357 meters of throw, I believe it gets every bit of that distance. And like always, those trees at the very end, they're about 200 feet away, and this was lighting them up as it should. So let's talk about what I like about the new PD35 version 3. So it does everything it's supposed to with an upgraded model from the previous version. We have more lumens, more throw distance. It now has a striking bezel where the previous versions didn't have that. And everything else you see here is just classic modern Fenix with the 6061 aluminum body and everything I mentioned earlier with the anti-slip knurling and the anti-roll cuts right here. I like the progression between the different modes, meaning the 5 lumen eco going to the 50, going to the 150. I think those steps are pretty well balanced. And yes, there is a 150 to 600 jump from medium to high, but that's to be expected. And also I like with these dual tail switches, you cannot activate the light with this side switch. I like that you have to activate the light through the tail switch and switch the modes with the side switch. All right, so let's talk about what I don't like about the new PD35 version 3. Well, first off, I guess I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a 1 lumen moonlight mode. Yes, I know the 5 lumen eco is pretty dim, but I still would like to have that 1 lumen moonlight mode. Next, I know a lot of you guys disagree with me about this, but I really wish you can charge it from a USB port on the outside of the flashlight. That's not a deal breaker at all, but I do like the convenience of being able to plug in a USB right to the side and charge it without having to take the battery out or put it in a slot charger. They do have IP68 flashlights that are water resistant and dust proof, still with the USB port on the outside. So as long as you keep that rubber flap closed, you won't get any dust or dirt or water in the USB port, and life is good. But that's just my opinion, and I'm gonna keep that in the negative section. The next thing I don't like is I wonder why you have to charge the battery with a micro USB versus a USB Type-C, which is pretty much the standard these days. Yes, you can still take it out and externally charge it with a slot charger, but when you have to charge it with a micro USB, everything I own right now is USB Type-C. I don't want to have to carry around an extra micro USB just to charge this battery. And last but not least, I'm going to put this in the negative section, and I forgot to mention it earlier when I was talking about the tail switch here. Let me autofocus this so you guys can see it. You can see these ear laps right here on each side of the button. And it looks like you can tail stand it, but it just, the button here sticks out just a little bit over the top. So as you can see right here, if I try to tail stand it, can't do it. It's just sticks out a little bit too far. Some of you guys might not care if you can tail stand this, but for me, it's super convenient, especially when I'm at work. If I'm in a dark truck, I just put this right on my desk and light everything up. Can't do that here. So do I recommend the PD35 version 3? Yeah, absolutely. It's everything you want in an upgraded version. Just for me, it's not necessarily an EDC light. Just a little bit too long for that. For me personally, I like a little bit of a shorter light for EDC, but when I was carrying it for that week, it didn't really bug me at all, so I might have to roll back on that rule a little bit. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of the new PD35 version 3 from Fenix? If you guys want to check this out for yourself, I will have links below in my description box. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!